Now, in my humble collection, I have 4 motorcycles that I bought new, and nobody else has ever molested them or done things to them that I'm not aware of. One of them is my GS1100E. I have owned 43 years now, 80,000 miles, and every time I get on this bike, to me, it's still a brand new bike. Now, I've bought bikes used, and when I took the seat or the tank off, I noticed somebody molested the bike, did something crazy. Not when you buy a bike new. Another nice thing about a one owner is you always know the true mileage of the bike. You don't have to worry like you do when you buy a used bike that somebody swapped out the speedometer or spun it backwards with an egg beater or something tricky. I don't know if they can even do that with modern electronic stuff, but older bikes, it could always come back to bite you. And when I bought this bike new, I was just under $2,700. I was thinking, wow, that's enough money to buy a house. It turned out to be a good investment. So the first thing I noticed once I got out to the riding area, because we had the rain, and it was a significant amount of rain, the roads are a lot nicer, a lot less salty than they were on the previous few rides. And I have a friend that bought a beautiful 600 Suzuki. Looked like it was brand new. Oh, just perfect. He had it for a while. He noticed it didn't shift right. The clutch wasn't working the way it was. Well, what happened, the guy that had it before him, won't mention any names, used it as a track bike, put track deck bodywork on it, and then put the original bodywork on and sold it. No wonder it looks so good. Now, in the case of this bike, it's gone up. It's almost doubled over the years, maybe even tripled. Who knows? The value of the bike, don't you wish you had a car that did that? And today, having the roads a little less salty, well, at this time of year, they're always salty. Or with the debris that you always have to clean off the bike at the end of the ride. Now, the GS has a little handicap in that fact. The stuff that blows up onto the exhaust pipes, it's a lot of work keeping them clean and polished. But, you know, in the end, keeping this bike clean is one of the things I really enjoy. Years ago, I did the 530 chain conversion. I changed the ratios. It's 1640 for the final drive. Gives me an overdrive, lets it cruise at the speed I like to cruise on Route 80, about 30 miles each way to get out to this riding area where it's so much fun to ride. Worth every penny. Now, I've had comments on the video. Some people prefer the red to the champagne, and of course that's fine. And I have one person I know who owns one of each. And the ultimate fun, our good friend Jim Skinner, he has 3. most of the comments I get on a video, two people agree with me. This is one of the most beautiful motorcycles ever designed. I think it is. We could still be friends if you don't agree, if you like another one, but to me, this is a classic styling that lasts forever, never goes out of style. No matter where you go, people stop and check it out. Another nice little feature, the classic instruments right up where you can see them. And I just think it just adds that classic little touch. Now, I've had several sets of Michelin Commanders on this bike. They seem to wear really well. They're grippy, and the bike handles great with them. Now, the only thing, I've tried other brands that maybe they were a little less expensive. I wasn't happy, and I always went back to the Michelin Commander. Now, 43 years ago when I bought this bike, I had no idea the part it was going to take in my life. I've owned it for more than half of my life. I have over-maintained it in every way you can over-maintain a motorcycle. And I have enjoyed over-maintaining it and riding the wheels off it all year long. But as I look back over this 43 years, I think some of the things that make this bike exceptional. The seat is super comfortable, and the tank gives you 200 miles of range. You're not always looking for gas. Now, I do have 3 different exhaust systems for the bike. The stock one that comes with the bike, of course. I made a set of carbon fiber mufflers years ago. I had them 6-7 years on the bike, had them when I evil twinned it out. And then Frank Straub, thank you to late Frank Straub, gave me the exhaust system from his 86. That was a little bit tricky making the back bracket, but I loved the sound of it a lot more than the stock one. One of my favorite places to stop and take a few photos every time I ride is Ladybug Lake. It is a beautiful little out-of-the-way community. And I always think painting the wheels on a bike made such a nice little upgrade. Along with the black wheels, I have EBC rotors, thank you Pokey. Steel brake lines, donated by Joe Padula, very nice. And I just love the look of that engine. That engine not only performs well, makes great power, I just think it looks as cool as can be. Now, this was the first bike I ever rode that I considered to be a true superbike. It was so much faster than the one I had before, the 1000cc one. It was a superbike. Now, when we were younger, Karen used to ride on the back of the bike, and whenever I'd pick out the bike for the day, she'd say, "Oh, couldn't we just take the GS today?" Another mention too, the bars are the stock bars that come with the bike. They have the balancing weights built right into the ends of the bars. And there's a video on a channel of how I refresh the paint on this bike about once every 10 years. Check it out on the channel. The day turned out great, but it's time, as it always is at the end of the ride, turn the bike around and get back to the farm. And for me, this is the ultimate definition of an original one-owner motorcycle. Now, if you're new to our channel, we have a very, very eclectic channel. One of the new features we have now is some of the videos are grouped into groups that you can access all the videos for one category in one mouse click. And it should be very convenient and very handy. Just check out the feature on the main screen playlist. And thanks to everybody for supporting the channel. We appreciate your support, and it makes this channel possible with all the things we do, the painting, the wheels, the polishing. And please take a second or two and hit the like button. And thanks everyone for watching.